I mean, you've been accused of kind of stirring up trouble, manipulating even the election of the Fine Gael parliamentary party chair, undermining ministers. There was even a suggestion you had a hit list of ministers that you were going to take out. Which
was rubbish, by the way.
That you're anti-Enda
Absolute
Kenny.
rubbish. Well, that's rubbish too, because I've always supported Enda Kenny, and I always will, because when I wasn't even involved in politics, and I was working in Vienna, I thought about getting involved, and I came home, and my brother had met Enda in a hotel in London after one of the rugby matches, and he brought me up to Enda and said, "This is my brother, he's interested in politics." I was, I think, 26 at the time. Enda gave me his number and said, "When you're next back in Dublin, call me." I met him, we had a chat, and I wasn't a member of Fine Gael then, and so he's one of the people who I suppose encouraged me to get into politics, not even knowing if I'd be getting involved with Fine Gael. This isn't about, see, frustration here is people don't understand that there are new TDs in Dáil Éireann who are interested in policy, interested in doing things better, interested in learning from the mistakes of the past, not interested in hanging around for 20 years. Go in, do your public duty, get your job done and get out. It's not about personalities, it's not trying to undermine ministers. We never had a hit list, that was rubbish. You know, do we have opinions that will differ from the party leadership? Of course we do. That's a healthy thing. I mean, if you look at things like...
But I mean, there was talk of you having been kind of brought in and sort of slapped down by Enda Kenny or by maybe Phil Hogan or, you know, Chief Whip.
No, I mean, I have numerous conversations with Enda Kenny, with Taoiseach. In some of those discussions, and a recent one, we were disagreeing on what elements for reform I think should be brought in. It's like a robust exchange that two adults have about important things. You know, this idea, I mean, it sounds a bit like school, you get pulled in. I mean, another thing that we did...
But I mean, like, there's a feeling perhaps that you were touted to be possibly a junior minister in the reshuffle, and that you lost out because you had the audacity to come out and say, I actually disagree.
That's just speculation. You know, was I ever going to be a junior minister? Who knows?
Were you disappointed when you weren't, maybe?
I would have loved to have been a junior minister. I mean...
But do you feel that the fact that you've been kind of outspoken on certain issues in the last 3-4 years has damaged your prospects of becoming a minister?
Even if that was the case, I wouldn't care. You know, I'm quite happy with the positions I've taken when I've taken them, be they on Croke Park, be they on reform. I think it's important to speak out, and I think it's important that we welcome dissenting voices. You look at things like the Garda whistleblowers, those things tell us, even the whistleblowers during the financial crisis, there's a reluctance in Irish society to treat a different point of view in the right way. Just because we don't like what people are saying doesn't mean we can dismiss that. And it's the same in Fine Gael.
Yeah.
If they don't like what we're saying, they can't just dismiss us. But that's the acceptance of Fine Gael. That's why it's healthy for our party to have this internal dissent. Yes, people in the media love to blow it out of proportion and say, "Oh, it's a personality thing," but it isn't. It's just trying to get forward your point of view, which is different, because it's coming from a different place. Because we're new to politics.